Most people know Bill Burr as the savage comedian, sharing his hot takes on TV shows, podcasts, and stand-up stages. But most people don't know that to get there required decades of grinding that ended in rock bottom.
Am I that guy that doesn't make it? Am I that guy?
Until a single day that changed everything. As a comedian and fan of Bill, I was surprised to learn how he went from this smiling babyface in a suit to the savage we know and love today.
My brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit!
Bill Burr's comedy journey started in 1992 as a New Year's resolution while a student at Emerson.
The Emersonian newspaper, they said Nick's Comedy Stop was having a talent contest. Find Boston's funniest college student. I remember it was a contest, and I didn't on any level try to win it. I was nowhere near even remotely the funniest person. My whole goal was just having the balls of when they called my name to walk up there and start talking.
However, comedy was very quick to humble Bill just 2 sets later.
My next show was at this comedy club, Stitches, and that one went okay. And then my third show, that was my first, what's called a hell room. I bombed so bad, I got halfway through my time, and this guy, Jack Lynch, was the host. And I said on the microphone, I said, Jack, I'm bailing.
Bombing is part of the game for all of us comedians, and how Bill handles it is a big reason why he became such a savage.
I remember one time just being on stage and I was bombing, and I just pictured all my friends watching me, laughing at me in the back, and then that got me to laugh at myself. And then I just started thinking, how much can I get these people to hate me? And I just left my act and I just started trying to annoy them. And I didn't get them back. They still hated me, but I had such a good time that I was like, wow, what was that? That was this new area of stand-up that, you know, I didn't know existed.
And it's in this new area that Bill found his voice. Because before this moment, Bill was surprisingly likable. Here's an example of him as a young comedian on stage talking about his dad.
I know my dad was his funniest though, was whenever you like broke something. Because my dad would totally flip out, right? But the words he used, you would have actually thought it was a good thing. You know what I mean? Like you'd break a window, psh, he'd be like, nice! Real nice!
Versus the now savage comedian talking about his dad.
My dad was like that. My dad's the greatest dude I ever met in my life. And he had a temper. Anytime anything broke in the house, 5 minutes into fixing it, he was bitching about his marriage. It was hilarious. He'd see something broke. Oh, Christ, will you look at that? God damn it, Billy, give me that fucking screwdriver. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck I ever got married for.
There's this big, like, mystery thing about you got to find your voice and, ooh, is this who I am? Is that who I am? And I have this theory that you walk in with it as an open micer, and then you go on stage, and the weirdness of looking at people and talking, this is me on stage, oh, I'm holding a microphone, and it just becomes weird. Yeah. It becomes weird, and then you spend, 8, 10, 12, 15 years trying to get back to who you were when you walked in, who was this guy who was making people laugh in the bars.
Bill's timeline here is spot on. It wasn't till 13 years into his career when everything changed. Up till this point, Burr was 37, sleeping on a futon, scared and depressed. And his career had hit rock bottom.
Third show at the Funny Bone in St. Louis. It was the first time it hit me. I was about 12 years in and I had nothing going on. Didn't have a manager, didn't have an agent. I remember sitting there having a beer and I was watching the waitresses counting their money and everybody smoking cigarettes. And I'd gone to the club like 5 years in a row. Everybody looks older, I look older, and all of a sudden this thing hit me as like, am I that guy that doesn't make it? Am I that guy? And I had a fucking panic attack.
Little did Bill know that on the other side of this panic attack is the moment that would change his career forever.
You fucking assholes! Fucking standing backstage for 3 hours to get booed by this GED fucking stupid ass piece of shit fucking crowd.
So this was the world famous Philly rant that catapulted Bill Burr's career overnight.
Basically, if you haven't seen it, I was doing a show for the Opie and Anthony radio program.
He got out there and they were booing him and he just started to pummel them back and said the worst things you can say, every inappropriate thing you could possibly say.
Fuck all of you and fuck the Liberty Bell. And shove it up Ben Franklin's ass. What do you think about that? All of you motherfuckers, I hope that bridge collapses onto your pathetic lives. Go fuck yourselves.
This entire video is wild. You can see Bill evolve into savage mode in real time, and it's all those years in the comedy trenches that prepared him for this life-changing moment.
Luckily, I had been booed before, so it wasn't a new thing. So the first time you get booed is it's a hell of an experience because you have what you want, but it's the exact opposite emotion. You have the entire crowd's focus, except there's no love, it's just hate.
And Bill used this hate as fuel, literally counting down each minute of the set.
And some other horrific shit happens that involves cancer. To all of you, 11 minutes left. This right here is the theme of my set, a broken mic stand. 3 motherfucking minutes left. Listen, I'm out of time. You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go fuck yourselves in your own assholes.
And at the end, the boos were as loud as the cheers. I think he got a standing ovation. He didn't see it. He comes off stage like a fighter. He's all sweaty. He said, "Did you see that? It was fucking horrible. What the fuck was that?" I went, "Bill, that was great."
Yeah, I had a little bump in the road. People started yelling some shit, and all my childhood issues came up, and I just kind of snapped on the crowd.
Today, it's obvious that everything worked out. But at this time, Bill was that same struggling comedian you saw earlier in the comedy club worrying if he was a failure. So this big breakthrough for Bill, at the time, felt like a breakdown.
I thought my career was over. I was like, everywhere I go, I'm going to get booed and blah, 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 blah. I'm glad that people enjoyed it because I was embarrassed that the whole thing happened.
Well, instead of his career being over, it was just getting started. And what appeared as rock bottom became the catalyst for today's Savage Burr to succeed.
Once I started to succeed doing what I wanted to do, my view of the business changed, where I then looked at it rather than like it's this thing I'm running towards, it was like, no, I'm in it. So I just look at the business like it's a giant mall, and I have a little store. I do a podcast, I tell jokes, I act when they let me.
Bill had to learn all these lessons the hard way, which is why now he's always looking to help up-and-coming comedians. Hey Bill, I'm comedian Joel Byers, ready to rock when you are, Captain. And if you'd like to support an up-and-coming comedian, subscribe to this channel so my wife doesn't make me get a real job.